Where do you have the spending authority for the $25 million you promised to flood victims in southeast Missouri? Is that already in the budget? Because obviously the budget was written before the flood, and Governor Carnahan had to call a special session in 1993 to get emergency funds.
Yeah, there's 3 E-lines in the governor's budget that I laid out the other day. Everybody's well aware of those E-lines that if necessary. And I think for those of you who haven't had a chance the Corps of Engineers blew up a levee. Half of one of the most productive agricultural counties in the state of Missouri is underwater. The water was higher at where the Mississippi meets the Ohio, 3 feet higher than it was in 1927 or 1937. We have, at USDA's estimate, 560,000 plus acres of farmland in the state of Missouri that are unusable right now. I mean, we have got a significant challenge to make sure that we get economically, not only help those folks get back on their feet in things as simple as housing and whatnot, but to get that land back productive. We cannot, we need to move forward as a state, especially with these agriculture export numbers where they are. I'll use those E-lines to make sure that we get that area back on its feet and moving forward, and those people that through no fault of their own have suffered significantly back into productive work as quickly as I possibly can. That's a responsibility we have, and we're gonna make sure we find the resources to do it, and we do the best job fiscally to make sure that we're getting as much federal match dollars in there as we can, and all of the other things that we're, I think, pretty capable of doing well. I spent a significant amount of time down there, but that's why you have those lines in the budget. That's something I've clearly discussed with a number of folks, and we'll look forward to getting that necessary rebound for that region.
Are you and some of the governors south of here going to get together and talk about common issues where the Corps has created similar problems in other states that they either have or are about to do the same thing in Louisiana? Is there a chance that you'll go as a group and see how much you can get back from the feds?
Well, we want to get those levees rebuilt, that's for sure. And those are significant federal levees, and that needs to be done. And they need to be front-loaded to be done to give that protection to those. But I also think there's water issues upstream too. I mean, that we're looking at. Water gets here, and adequately controlling for flood control in Mississippi and in Missouri is something that's very important and an issue that we're looking at. So I don't think it's as simple as just the downstream states. I think but we shouldn't. This is a historic flood. I mean, in essence, 3 vertical feet over where it was in the famous 27 flood, far over where it was in the 37 flood at the other time this levee was attempted to be breached. And the other damage in that region is pretty significant. So we'll work with those folks. But I think that our initial focus is on making sure that those families in those areas get housing, that the folks that have productive land get back to using that land as quickly as possible, and that during that process we are assisting those folks to get back on their feet.